As our pods crash landed through the sky, we landed on the ground, kicked the doors open, and there's not an armada of Covenant. We're in the middle of nowhere, and it seems on our scanners we checked that it seems that we landed on the wrong planet. We accidentally landed on a colonized Rimworld by the UNSC. That's no matter. We equipped our ODST armor and we equipped our guns. We realized that we would need to build a shelter, for this is going to be our outpost, or at least temporary shelter. We took a look around with our scanners, and we saw an ancient building. And there happened to be a river running through the mountain that we could use as defense. The valley we landed in only had 2 entrances, and we even detected some gold that we could use for later projects. But all this looking and all this stuff behind, we decided to start building out our shelter. But first we took a little closer look at the river. The river appeared to be running through a couple of small hills and then the mountain. There seemed to be a huge mountain, too, that we were probably building, but none of us had any experience in mining. After we had laid out the schematics for our base, we decided that we would build. We decided that we would make it out of wood, and instead of trying to mine the stone, since we had no experience in mining. Laura thought she was going to go out and investigate our weird structure that we found, but decided better of it, since there could always be hostile robots in there. We also realized we would need food, so we laid down the blueprints for some tilled soil that we planted some rice on. Once we hit nightfall, we started working on some beds to make sure we weren't sleeping on the cold, hard mountain ground. After Sam, our builder, our main constructor and builder, decided he's going to start cutting down trees, despite the fact he's pretty underqualified for that to build our freaking house. Decided I would rather work on the beds, so he started working on the beds right as nightfall hit. And right before we all went to sleep, he got it done. We even built some furniture to increase the quality of our sleep, like a dresser and such. We didn't have that much survival meals, so we decided we would forage for some berries around that are close to our base, basically on the front door. We started working. We also laid schematics for furniture, so we would be eating on the not on the ground, but on the nice wooden table. But as we look at our protagonist's skills here, we can see that Sam has a very high level in shooting and melee, as well as a minor passion for construction. He's also psychically dull, a jogger, and tough. He also has a little passion in social, and seems to have quite a little bit of skill in it. After we finished looking at his skills, we should look at Laura's skills. Not as much shooting skill, but still a very big passion. She's a psychopath and abrasive, and has a pretty high passion for plants and intellectual. Soon we would start working on cutting down more trees for more materials to build the house and increase our territory. But as night fell, we all decided to rest. After surveying the area once again and seeing that nothing new had happened, we continued working on our safe house. We could see some wild medicinal herbs in the distance. We didn't really need them, but it would be a very big upgrade for. It would be a big upgrade for nothing, and we didn't want to use all of our. Actual medicine on anything too dumb, like bruises or anything. So it's better to have the herbal medicine. We would grow herbal medicine, but Laura didn't have enough skill to do that, so. We set up some power and some wall lights to make it so we wouldn't have to get some torches. But while we did that, visitors and a trade and a war merchant from a local tribal faction decided to stop by for a visit. Like we had any money. So we went out to see what they had to trade. But apparently they had like nothing, so they're tribals. They're all very mystified by our armor and did try to sell us some weird sticks or something. I don't know. Call them clubs. Very primitive. But soon night fell again, and after again seeing if they had anything useful, which they didn't really of our tech level. They almost burned us because we had this armor, but they couldn't because the UNSC has settled this planet. The visitors soon left after that night, and while the sun started to rise, and we were about to start hauling some grand chunks out of our base, we picked something up on the world scanners. It appeared there was a faction contention. It appeared there's a faction contention between two unknown factions. We considered going, but we realized that this was going to be big. And we didn't really want to get involved if there's no UNSC there, and it was just the local Outlander tribes fighting each other. But then, a transporter pod fell in the sky. We thought it could be one of our ODSTs, but it was just a civilian worker from the local UNSC. We decided we would heal her to get some goodwill with the UNSC faction here, which appeared to be the 40th UNSC fleet. I've never really heard of them, but we decided to save her since they are our only friendlies out here, probably, other than these local tribals. She had some pretty bad wounds, which makes you wonder what was happening before she fell from the sky. But Sam and Laura just bandaged her up nonetheless. We soon realized that we would need to upgrade our tech, because we currently didn't have anything UNC involved, any researched. So we started doing that. Well, we can't exactly research anything without a terminal. But after we got that, we picked up our sensors that a mad guinea pig appeared. Laura went out there and shot the thing immediately. I guess even the wildlife isn't safe. Wildlife on this planet is very weird anyway. Soon as night would fall, we would head to our beds again, but our new person, the new person we got, Phoenix, or whatever their name was, got an infection. So Laura, our best medical officer, decided she would tend that using her regular medicine. And it looks like her immunity might beat it, but we can't be too sure. So we will keep treating it. Soon we started picking our research options. We went for geothermal. Since we knew we would need a lot of power, and there was some geothermal vents. We continued tending Phoenix's infection, which did seem to be getting better. And while that was happening, we realized that she wasn't quite useful in any way, so if she joined us, then we would probably kick her out, but anyway, Laura started getting researching, and when we got the thing until we got to name our outpost. We decided that we would just go for normal UNSC names now. The 15th UNSC fleet, and we would name our settlement the Foxtrot Military Outpost. Since now technically we were with the UNSC here, but we were definitely a different faction. Later on, we actually had some ambrosia sprout, so we could either use that to make we could use that to make Laura and Sam happier when they're on the verge of killing each other, or when they're just outright doing stuff. Or we could sell it. Everybody was getting nice and comfy in the new beds that were built. Until we realized that something was making Samuel irritable, and it seemed to be some sort of resentment kind of wave out there. It's like a drone is what the locals called it. So Sam was always going to be a little bit unhappier, but since he was likely psychically dull, he wasn't affected by it. Laura, she seemed to be unaffected, so my guess is it's only for males. As the video comes to a close, I know this is kind of overdue, but yeah, now I'm making Rimworld videos. Thanks for watching. It'd be great if you would subscribe. I really want to grow this channel, and have a nice day. See ya.